Hey, this is Mr. Coker with Geometry Lesson 2-1, Classifying Triangles. So, I'm going to talk about how to classify triangles by sides and by angles. Start with sides, and as you can see there are three that I'm going to mention. Before I get started though, let me say a word about these marks. So, when we see a triangle and we have the same number of marks made on each side, that's telling us that each side has the same length. It means that the sides are congruent. Let me put this vocabulary word up here. Congruent means having the same size and shape. With the side, of course, it's a straight line, so it means that each of the sides of the triangle is the same length. So, the first type of triangle we're going to talk about is an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle, well, look at this, 1, 1, 1. Each of these is marked the same length, as being the same length. So an equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides. That's why it's equilateral. So, equilateral triangle, 3 equal sides. Next is an isosceles triangle. One that I definitely had to look up how to spell. So, if you look at the isosceles triangle and you look at our figure, we have 2 of our sides are marked with a 1 to show that they're congruent, but the third side is marked to show it is not congruent. It got a different number of marks, which means it is a different length. That is because an isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides. So 2 equal sides in isosceles. And the last one is scalene. Now if you look at the scalene triangle, that one's just a mess. It's got 1 mark, 2 marks, and then 3 marks. They all have different numbers of marks on them, showing that they're different sizes. That is because a scalene triangle has 0 equal sizes. Equal sides. 0 equal sides. So every side is a different length. So again, equilateral has 3 equal sides, an isosceles has 2 equal sides, and a scalene would have no sides which are equal. Okay, now on to angles. Now I marked the angles up a little bit differently. I put numbers instead of symbols. I will get you the symbols though. Oh, I will. An equilateral triangle, the first one I have here. Well, if you hopefully you can see the numbers inside the triangle. It says 60, 60, 60. The numbers inside the triangle represent angles. So inside the triangle you have an angle. You have 3 angles. It's a tri, meaning 3, angle, triangle. So if all of the triangles, if all of the angles inside the triangle are the same, it is an equiangular triangle. Well, if you know an equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides, an equiangular triangle, by the way, another, and I looked up the spelling of them, you should be able to remember that that's 3 equal angles. Now, what did I just say? What did I just say? Oh yeah, So I'm going to show you how to mark the same, how you're going to do a symbol to mark the same angle. So, if you are marking a triangle to show that, or you're marking angles on a triangle, or an angle on anything, to show that they're equal, this is how we do it. So, this curved like arc inside the angle is showing, it's a symbol to show that they are the same, they're equal to each other. That's going to come up a lot. So with these, the marks to show the same sides of a side and to show the same size of an angle are going to come up so often. So make sure you get used to them. Okay, now let's move on to this next one. Next one is an acute triangle. So that's one you've probably, the next three actually are ones you probably learned long ago, like in elementary school. But an acute triangle, now the numbers listed here are 70, 60, and 50. An acute triangle means all angles are less than, putting the less than symbol, less than 90 degrees. So if every angle is less than 90, it's an acute triangle. An obtuse triangle is next. So if you can read it, it says 35, 35, 110. Well, one of those is obviously bigger than 90. Therefore, it's not an acute triangle, so I guess it's an ugly triangle? Well, no, it's an obtuse triangle. It means that one angle is, that's an ugly E. That was not acute either. One angle is greater than 90 degrees. So, by the way, one angle, because remember, there are 180 degrees in a triangle. Always 180 degrees. Therefore, you cannot possibly have two angles larger than 90 degrees in a triangle. It's not possible. So, again, you will have, if you have one angle over 90 or greater than 90, then it's obtuse. If you have all the angles being less than 90, it's acute. What if one of them is a 90-degree angle? Well, of course, that would make it a right triangle. And that's where this symbol comes into play. This symbol, notice it's a square in one of the corners. It makes a square. And you add it to the rest of the triangle. That represents a 90-degree angle. So a right triangle has a 90-degree angle. Well, that makes sense if you know that a 90-degree angle is called a right angle. Therefore, a triangle with a 90-degree angle in it is called a right triangle. So, this sign again, or this symbol I should say, this symbol will come up very often. And it'll come up a lot of times in problems when you see a figure of a triangle to show it's 90 degrees. Usually they won't write 90 degrees, they'll just give you that symbol. So make sure you know that means a 90-degree angle. And it means therefore a right triangle. So, in review, equilateral triangles, 3 equal sides. Isosceles triangle, 2 equal sides. Scalene triangle, 0 equal sides. Angles, and that's by sides. By angles, equiangular, 3 equal angles. I didn't write that one because the definition is kind of in the name. An acute triangle means that it's pretty. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that all angles are less than 90 degrees. In an obtuse triangle, one angle is greater than 90 degrees. And a right triangle means one of our angles is exactly 90 degrees. So, 7 things to remember. Very important to know how to classify triangles when you're doing geometry. So, these are the different classifications that we're going to deal with in this unit. So, well, just make sure you memorize these and understand them. Have a good night or a good day, depending on when you're watching.